Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am going to be hitting some interesting stuff today. The first thing I wanted to show you is that this was from Link to, who is one of my sponsors, by the way. 72% of all U.S. CEOs view AI as a significant investment opportunity, according to a recent KPMG study. On their platform, they have Cerebrus Systems, Sambonova Systems, H2O.ai. I need to look at some of those myself, but I have not yet. All right, we've got this from eGrag Crypto. He's saying XRP aiming to $27. I think I'll take it. Anybody listening to my voice might take that too. He said, let's break down the XRP analysis. The green wave count represents the grand cycle from 2014 to 2018, with wave 1 followed by the corrective wave 2, ABC. Presently, XRP finds itself riding the exciting waves of wave 1 within the... I don't know if he makes up some of these or not. I know he makes up some, but I don't know if these are made up. XRP has successfully navigated wave 1 and wave 2, gearing up for anticipated wave 3. The grand finale, wave 5, is expected to catapult XRP to a minimum of $27, reaching for the stars of those fibs. I think I would take $27. Would you? Let's hope that eGrag Crypto's charting is genius, because I don't do it. Baba Cugs put out an interesting clip. For me, this is what it's all about, folks. Tokenized assets. This right here is what I'm seriously looking forward to getting involved in, is talking about tokenized assets, because what this is going to do is it's going to emotionalize investing like never before. It's going to open up investing in things that most people were never able to invest in, like fine art or large pieces of real estate, or pieces of real estate that have some meaning to people. Let's say, for instance, let's say that the government wanted to tokenize one of the major museums, the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C., and maybe your thing is natural history. Maybe your favorite thing in the world to do is go to the Natural History Museum. Well, all of a sudden, you'll be able to buy a piece of that. Tokens traded on public platforms. That's where this world's going in. That's what's going to get really, really interesting. Or maybe you and a bunch of your friends in some town in the United States all want to buy into a tokenized piece of beachfront property that none of you could afford before. But now, if you buy a certain amount of tokens, it gives you some kind of rights to go to that property twice a year, whatever. Who knows where this is going? And maybe even share in the rents by owning X amount of tokens or whatever. Who knows? All bets are off. But this is David Schwartz talking about it.
I'm hoping that we're going to see, as real-world asset tokenization projects grow, I think the XRP Ledger is going to be a really good platform for them to launch on, particularly because of the low fees and because of the integration with the DEX, with the proximity to sort of the movement of funds. The ability, if someone's going to buy, what do you want to do with a real-world tokenized asset? You want to buy it, you want to sell it, you want to hold it, you want to transfer it. And if you want to buy it and sell it, you want to be able to do that with whatever asset is convenient for you. You don't want to tie... If you tokenize some sort of debt, like, you don't want to tie it to US dollars, because then that limits access to it to people who have sort of proximity to US dollars. One of the things the XRP Ledger is good for is giving you sort of proximity to many different assets, and that exchange is seamlessly built in. So I think that's one of the many reasons why the XRP Ledger is going to be a good place to launch tokenized real world assets. I think we'll see that in the next year and a half.
Cool, yeah.
Look, you know that Baba Cugs is the official lightning rod of the Digital Asset Investor channel, and he does not take a lot, and he's not afraid to be criticized. That's why he's the official lightning rod. This guy says 2024, next time Line for 2025, events 2026, XRP still 50 cents. Ha ha ha. Sell. Nobody asked you to stay and complain. But when you're an official lightning rod, you don't take a lot off of people. Now, and then there's an interesting clip here from this Flip the Chain.
But now, let's just like a dramatic reading of, here's a court's question to the SEC. This is the court. Is there some significance that I should give, or maybe there is none, to the fact that the commission, that means the SEC, issued the S1. The S1 is the registration statement that Coinbase filed with the SEC when it did its IPO. So to the fact that the commission issued the S1 and didn't say, hey, watch out, guys, you're engaging in securities laws violations. So she asked that question in that way. These are the exact words. And the answer from the SEC's legal counsel, the short answer is no. Your Honor should take nothing from that. And then the court says, let me have a slightly longer answer. So she's like saying to them, come on, guys. And then he says, Your Honor, I'll simply state that because the SEC allows a company to go public does not mean the SEC is blessing the underlying business. He says more, but I'm just being short here. The S1 is about disclosures. Okay. And this is my favorite line. The court says, let's just pause. Let's just pause. So when a judge says, let's just pause, that's not a good sign. So I can just sort of get rid of the skepticism I currently have as I hear that answer. I love this judge so far, right?
Yeah, that's an ouchie. That's a real ouchie.
That's an ouchie. So and then she goes on later to say, but it's not crazy in the Fela parlance, so she's referring to herself, for Coinbase to think that what they were doing was okay because it was exactly what you let them do when they issued the S1. I cannot wait to hear more of this judge and more of this case. But if I were the SEC, the judge is like giving you some strong signals right away. And this is why we need Congress to act. So what's next? We are going to, do we need another 3 years of having now our judicial branch and our executive branch going at each other this way? We need Congress to start looking at these frameworks and help us with this and direct the SEC how they should be applying the framework to digital assets.
Now, I think that bleeds perfectly into, when FTX came along, it's kind of like Gary was meeting with FTX and they were having all these planning sessions with FTX that we can't find out about, right? And then all of a sudden FTX blows up and it helps Gary Gensler to create this fear narrative. Go figure, right? Well, look at what happened today. Today, we've got another controversy. There's all this anticipation about a Bitcoin ETF. And lo and behold, someone from Cointelegraph leaks out that that I think it was the iShares, I think they're working with BlackRock, that the BlackRock ETF had been approved by the SEC. Then and the market goes up the market booms like 10% or something is what I heard for Bitcoin. And then they do this. We apologize for the tweet that led to the dissemination of inaccurate information regarding the BlackRock ETF. An internal investigation is currently underway. We are committed to transparency and will share the findings of the investigation with the public once it's concluded within 3 hours. And it's a good time to point this out. Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, says now Cointelegraph changes their tune after well over 1 million views of misinformation. Binance bought CoinMarketCap previously, and the same faceless owner, Brandon Ches, who is the same guy who back in 2018, overnight without telling anybody, pulls all the prices, the Korean prices from the price of XRP, causing it to crash and never recover. Same guy. He owns Cointelegraph. Previously, the same Binance bought it from him. Cointelegraph. Remember, when CoinMarketCap flooded XRP, who is Brandon Ches? It's a great question. Who is Brandon Ches? Maybe we'll do something on him in the private group because it might take us down a road we're not allowed to go down in social media. And then Reuters was also touting this same news, iShares Bitcoin ETF. And I think John Deaton is ultimately over the target here. A rug pull by someone. Now, if Gary Gensler uses this example to issue a denial of a spot ETF, we have our answer. And this guy says, did we just watch a rug pull by Cointelegraph? Folks, we know Gary Gensler well by now, don't we? This reeks of some setup thing to be able to use and beat over the head of crypto. That's where my gut is. Now, something somebody asked me to do the other day, and I'm gonna briefly scroll through this. They said, you know, you got kicked off. October 5th was the last day that I was, I don't even know what they call it, tweeting, Xing on this platform. October 5th. They said, scroll back through what you were talking about on that day. I'm not going to say it and then we're going to go right into the private group and talk about some things. But they said, scroll back through and I think you'll see what got you kicked off. As we scroll down, not that. Remember, it was the same day that Elon Musk is going to be investigated by the SEC. Not that. It's not that. We talked about that kind of stuff a lot. As we get down to about somewhere in here is where it starts getting interesting. I'm not going to say any of those things, but this seems to be possibly. So in the private group, we'll probably start to talk more about things like this, okay? But here's what we're going to talk about in the private group today, because I got some stuff. First of all, I found in one of the recent videos of Brad Garlinghouse, I believe that Brad Garlinghouse is telling everyone something about something that's coming from Ripple and him, possibly, okay? I believe he was, for about the second or third time, sending a subtle message of, not even that subtle, but I don't know if everybody's really picked up on what he's saying here. The second thing is I'm going to use two words that you're not allowed to use in social media, and I'm not going to use them now, but I'm going to use them in the private group here in a second. The third thing, I'm going to tell you a story that I don't think I've ever been able to tell on social media. It's something that happened when I was at Consensus. I believe that was in 2021, and it's a story I've never told about. I don't think I've ever told it. Now, you can go to DAIXRP.com. I intentionally made my private group very inexpensive, so it's not a lot of money for anybody to join. It's growing by leaps and bounds, and there's a lot of interesting people in there already. That's all I'll say there, but go to DAIXRP.com and check it out. Now here we go, private. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family that's my story from Consensus 2021. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for listening.